Hello viewers, welcome to Educators. I'm Venkatramana Ganji, your Android trainer. In this video, we are going to discuss about the introduction part of our Android. So what is Android and how does it came into the market? Who invented that? So, and the version history, like how many versions has been released so far and what is the difference between different versions and features of Android and what you should know to start development on Android. So now let's start with what is Android. Android is a mobile operating system and which consists of your OS, middleware, and the key application. It's a purely Linux-based operating system, so which has been meant for actually which has developed for phones and tablets initially. Later on, they started working on Android TVs as well. They implemented thereafter for Android Wear like smart watches and Google Glasses. Then in the recent versions of Android, they introduced that to the Android Auto. Apart from these, so that Android has been implemented to for so many electronic devices in the real world of your regular life. And so for till now, it has been powered by more than 1 billion devices all over the world. So, so let us see the general statistics of our Android. So presently we have more than 16 lakh applications available in the Google Play Store, which is the world's largest application store. And out of the 16 lakh, 85% of their applications are free. And Android is actually available in more than 135 plus countries all over the world. And the world's Android first device is like HTC Dream. You can see how does it looks like with a QWERTY keyboard and all. So designed by the HTC. Now let us see how does it came into the market. So initially it has been developed or invented by Andrew E. Rubin in the year of 2003. Then Google acquired this particular Android incorporation in the year of 2005. They decided to design the open standards for our Android. So they spent a lot of time to do some research in the background and then they decided to form an OHA called Open Handset Alliance. So in the year of 2007, this OHA is a consortium of actually the technology-based companies, chipset companies, so product developers, manufacturers, so many people are involved in this. And later after this they made it as an open source in the year of 2008 October. So the first release actually so released in the market February 2009. We usually call that as Petit 4. This OHA, Open Handset Alliance Consortium, will consist of handset manufacturers, if you see like HTC, Sony, Samsung, etc. So till now, at presently, more than 250 plus companies are producing the devices for Android. So like Lenovo, Micromax, so many are there. So and the major product developer is actually the Samsung and the semiconductor companies. This OHA has been formed with 16 companies initially. Presently, we have more than 85 plus companies in this OHA. So if you see here, the semiconductor companies like Qualcomm is the world's largest semiconductor-based company, and Nvidia, you probably heard this in your desktop applications for the graphic cards and all. Intel, we regularly use our Windows system based off Intel and all. So ARM processors. So these chipsets will be developed or designed by the semiconductor companies and the commercialization companies who do branding or advertisement or something like. So nowadays, if you observe your televisions, you're getting an ad for so Oppo or maybe Vivo, Lenovo, so many mobile companies are releasing their advertisements. So means for marketing stunts and all designed by these commercialization companies and the software companies. So like Google, eBay, L&T, and if you any startup companies who are developing the applications for our Android, so comes into these particular software companies and the mobile operators like Vodafone, Telika, Verizon. So world's largest one is like some China Mobile. So that is a network provider, and Vodafone is a UK based company, and AT&T is a US based company. So like this, so this open handset alliance consortium consists of different kind of so people involved in this. Now let us see the version history. Like initial release has been so with Android 1.1. Before this, we have 1.0 and beta version, alpha version, and everything. But presently, we are dealing with only the basic level of Android 2. So for every release, they have given one level number and the name. Okay. So because this will be helpful for us in the development of Android project or application, whatever you say. So means to decide so which level or which version so you would like to develop your application. So to reach the active users in the market will decide through this particular API level. So the names of all the uh, sorry, versions has been given like bakery confectionery item names. So except the first one which is named as a Petit Four, it's they not yet released out officially. It's an assumption basically. We found something. And if you see everything is in alphabetical order like cupcake, donut, eclairs, froyo, gingerbread, honeycomb, ice cream sandwich, like this. The latest version is actually for the development is Marshmallow, and presently Android N version is available as a preview mode for the developer to do some hands-on. The supposed name for Android N is like a Nutella, but no, there is no official announcement about that. So for development, we have the latest release with an API level number of 23, named it as Marshmallow. So which is initially announced in the market for October 2015, and the next version of Android 6.1 has been released in the December 2015, December January area. So if you observe here, there are so many levels and so many versions are available. Till 2.3.7 that is specifically designed for the phones only. Then 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, 3.2.6. So means the honeycomb version has been so meant for only tablet application development. From ice cream sandwich onwards means from 4.0 onwards it meant for all the devices for mobiles and tablets as well. And from 4.4 it has been released or announced with the Wear Android Wear like smart watches, Google glasses, everything. And 5.0 with Android Auto has been announced. So like this, a particular version has its specific features and the standards. Now let us see the features of Android. So as like other operating systems, as you people are regularly using a device in the day-to-day life, you might have seen so many features in individual device. So probably you may see some features in your device and some different features in your friend's device, though that is an Android. So now let us see the common features where it doesn't support. So the messaging, so we mostly use like a WhatsApp or maybe Facebook Messenger like that. So that is so we support SMS, MMS, C2DM like a cloud to device messaging. GCM stands for Google Cloud Messaging. We support this. Means all the possible ways of communicating through the messages. And the web browser, the world's the fastest browser is Google Chrome, so which is defaultly the own browser for Google. And so multi-touch, we have five finger touch and glow touch has been introduced by our Android. So multitasking, performing more than one task at a time is nothing but multitasking. So example, you listening to the music over your music player or maybe an FM radio. So chat with your friends on WhatsApp or check your mails through your Gmail application, and you can go through your gallery, just check it out what are the email pictures you have, delete unwanted emails, something like that. Means at a time performing more than one task is called as a multitasking. And the screen capturing is also introduced by us for the first time in the world. Just use your power button and the volume button. So at a time then you can capture your screen and the TV recordings. If so you are using with the Android TV or some, you probably might have seen this in set-top boxes in your regular life with the HD set-top boxes where you can record your program. So whereas in our Android TVs, that is a built-in feature, like directly you can read any program you would like to record. And the video calling, so we do support the high-end, means high definition video calling. So with so many applications and the default applications are available for us. And the multilingual support is also given by us. So we are supporting more than 80 languages presently in the world. So and connectivity. So you can connect through the between the devices using Bluetooth, Edge, or anything. So Bluetooth will be in a certain radius you can communicate. So tethering, so connecting one device to another device, and making use of the Wi-Fi or your network. So from one device to the another device. Let us suppose I have started tethering in my mobile. I can use the GPRS or maybe the bandwidth of my friend's device as well. So media formats, we do support the maximum features available in the world are supported by Android like MP3, MP4. So for images like PNG, JPEG, BMP, bitmap, so 9 pads, everything we do support, and the external storage. So we do support the highest external storage like 128 GB external storage. So depends upon the device configuration or the manufacturer. So it supports 16 GB, 32 GB, 64 GB, or 128 GB. And the streaming is also, let us suppose in olden days, if you would like to play any video or anything in your mobile, you should have a flash player or maybe HTML5 player. So that is defaultly available for us in Android through the WebKit, and the different hardware features also supported like GPS, Global Positioning System, where you can know your current location, which is a built-in feature for us, accelerometer, proximity sensor, so thermal sensor, pressure sensors, all these things are so defaultly support in our Android. Now let us see why we should go for Android. So we have seen all the features, and it's an open source and all, but what is an advantage to go with an Android? So if you go through with all the features, you can understand so why we are going for Android. The major thing is like it's an open source. That is where we are preferring. So because that defaultly open source will make use of the existing code. You just do a small changes and release your own SDK or your own application. So as you wish. So that's all fine. But what should I know to start working on Android? So we mostly prefer, and in olden days, like a latest version of Android are supporting only through the Java programming language. But previously, you can develop with C, C++ or .NET as well. So for developing application through the Java, we use SDK like a software development kit, and C, C++ or .NET, we use NDK. We call native development kit. So to know all these things and to start your development, you should have a knowledge on Java. So basically, at least any OOPs like object-oriented programming, if you have a good knowledge in that, it's fine. Or though you don't have any programming language, you don't know Java, any programming language is fine. So because in our Android, whatever you speak will give you the definition, class name, and the methods. So that's all. That is very pretty easy. And you should, if you have a little experience with Java, it's a pretty good. It's made everything is made easy to start development. So, and we use XML to start the UI. So to design UI part, we use an XML, which is a query language, sorry, a structured, it's a markup language basically. Something like everything is a tag based. So you must know XML and Java, but don't worry though you don't know, need not to worry about it. So in the progress, so in the learning process, you learn everything so very easily. Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Have a nice day.